Welcome everyone in another part of, I don't know which part already of the RPG inventory system, so let's get straight into that. If you haven't watched my previous videos, obviously go and watch them. There's gonna be a lot of parts of this, and this is gonna take a long time. Fuck, I can't even imagine. We are not even in the middle of our work with the inventory. We were creating a weapon all previous episode, where obviously this is not a how to create weapon tutorial, where doesn't matter. I need a little help from my other code over here, so on the other screen I'm just now checking some things, how to do this and that, because I don't remember all the code. Obviously I know how to manage these things, how to do them, just I keep forgetting, because I'm going, like I said in previous episode, probably I'm going to flash for a longer time, and I'm going back here, and then I'm doing spamming items or doing something else, and I keep forgetting the other functions and the recipe to do something. I should grab some paper and definitely write it on the wall of my in my room. Anyways, where is it? What we want now, we want to attach the weapon to the player's hand. It is spammed, trust me, it worked in the previous video. It does work, it just that you can't see it because it's not in anywhere near the player. So the reason why refill was, it's just because they added the model of the weapon to his hand by default, so in the animation editor. So that's just bullshit. It's not the way you should do it properly, I believe. So what we want to do now, um, we want this to be attached to player hand. And in order to do that, I have to just find few things. Player properties. Where the fuck was that? Okay, I'm wasting time now, but it wasn't player probably. Yeah, it was. Okay. Okay, I found that. Now, after all that stuff in here, we want this to be attached to player hand. So we grab the player character instance. This is, we are grabbing now player character just to check. Now we just, if it's found, so that it doesn't crash, then attachment manager. The manager, and then if I'm all the time doing this ifs over here, this conditional statements, just because I don't want this to crash if anything is wrong with this. Then now we're going to actually attach it to the player's hand, and if you remember, the player's weapon attachment, hand attachment, where the weapon was attached, was called weapon without capital letters. So that's what we're gonna do. I attachment p attachment equals p attachment manager get interface by name, and name will be weapon. Okay, now if attachment is actually found, because I might have made mistake with the name, and if I did it would crash, but because I used this statement it did not crash. Then we're gonna create entity attachment, right hand, doesn't matter how we call it, obviously this is just a pointer. New entity attachment. Oh god. Okay, and now we are grabbing this once again. We are setting entity ID, and now we need to grab this entity that is weapon entity. This is the weapon that is being spammed in this function, so we grab this weapon entity, get ID, and that's it. And now p attachment, add binding, which is gonna be p right hand. This should do, although, you know, obviously, as I always say, I might have made some mistakes, so this might be the reason why I'm doing this. I'm preparing us for the pickup function, which will be directly referring to our inventory. Obviously, as you can see, we are walking around with the fucking huge, well, it's fucking big. I didn't think it's gonna be that big, but it's quite impressive, you know. Obviously, there is no, I can press the mouse and there is no attack functions for it, no animations or something. So don't be worried about it. And the other thing is, it might be pushing your player around. If that happens, don't be worried, you didn't do anything wrong. The point about pushing your character around by the sword is like it does now, you can see. The reason why is because your player is colliding with the sword, and this is quite important, because when your player is holding it in his hand, you probably could disable the collision of the element after picking it up, but you can't, because you want this element to pick up the collisions with the other characters or something that you want to fight with, right? So you can't really disable the collision. In order to do that, if you don't want your player to be pushed around by the sword, you have to create a collision filter. So it's something that makes your sword not collide with the owner of the sword, but with everything else. I'm not gonna be covering that here. This is all gonna be fucking too complicated then. But I covered that on one of the tutorials on the forum. So if you dig Fury22 UK, then you're gonna find my post, so you can see easily how to create that. Anyways, for now, because we don't fight with this sword, we can do. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, this is gonna be just later. Okay, we have this. It's gonna work. Now we have to start preparing the pickup function. First, where we gonna or no, actually we don't need for the purpose of this video, because if within my game, when I make a sword or any other weapon, once the weapon is picked up, I create function over here inside of the weapon to let the weapon know that it has been picked up, and I give it a new owner. I created some, pointer to the owner, and then when the owner is changed, then it starts filtering collision with its owner. Once it's dropped, owner it's nullified, and it stops filtering collision with anything, so it collides with everything. That's a little bit more complicated, so we're not going to be going over that. Obviously, you need to have this owner to find the collision with the other elements, and if you make a damage system when you hit someone, you grab his HP down, I mean health points, and so on. Then you're probably gonna complicate it a lot more than this, but this is inventory. So what we're going to do now, we're gonna go close everything, close all documents, and open once again players. I just like it to be clear over here. We're going to create one more function. And we're gonna call it, it's gonna be void pick up item. And we are not gonna pass any argument, I believe. No, we're not. Pick up item. Now we're gonna create this simply in the player.cpp. So we have this function in somewhere, yeah, here. That is pick up item. For now, we're gonna go with the cry log always. Item picked. This is not a functionality that we are looking for, so this is just something that we're gonna start with, right? So now I'm gonna be jumping from one file to another, so try to keep up. We are in the player input, because of course we want to press some button to pick up the item. So we're gonna create new action. You already know the actions because I covered that in separated videos about action maps. So if you don't know that, then I recommend you to go and do that, and you will support me also by doing this. On action, pick up. That's it for now on this file. Now we want player input. We are also gonna copy this. You could write everything down by your hand, but it's just simple. Okay, we're gonna call it pickup. That's it. Why not? On action, pick up, and we're down here. We're gonna grab. Oh goddamn! Okay, this is long method, but we don't need this. I'm gonna copy that, paste over here. On action, pick up. Okay, now we're gonna call with this action. We're just gonna call simply in the player, and all the functionality will be here in the player.cpp. So this will be, so we can leave it. If you're wondering what this pointer is, it's the pointer to the owner of the component, which is in this case player. Pick up item. As you can see, our function already appeared, and it's gonna just simply call pick up. That's it. We don't need this anymore. And now we are just gonna see if the action works. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, fucked up because I didn't create a action map for it in the XML config file, which we're going to do now. Quickly, fucking stop it. I'm trying to make it quick, but that's not that good idea to do that. Oh yeah, and the other thing as well. Yeah, that's right. That's actually really correct. That in the player.cpp, not HTTP, I forgot. Also, I covered this in my video about action maps. This is Boolean, so obviously it has to return something. Okay, that should do. So you can compile now, but it's not gonna work anyway because we have to change the configuration. We have to create also this map inside of our default profile. So it's over here. and so we're going to copy this and paste in here. Pick up. Originally, as I remember, in the crisis was F. As far as an F is good button. It's just right next to your finger. So yeah, we're gonna pick up with the F button. This video takes more than 15 minutes, so let's quickly check this out. And that's gonna be all for today. See if the action is being called. F F F F F. Pick up, pick up, pick up. Okay, action works. So in the next video we will start to create the functionality for this function in here, the pickup function, which I just lost, but is over here. Okay, so see you in the next video. We are gonna start working on the inventory itself finally. So hope you enjoyed and you learned something, and see you later.